Welcome everybody to this demo video, how to create and use an external v-test list. So one of the features I really like in Biophilia is the v-test external and the ability that you can save your history. So you can call the items back. Because I like to work with different methods, I've created some lists for myself to investigate a scan. And what I'm going to do today is take you to the test environment and show you how you can save a list and call up a list to work with it. And that makes the biophilia even more specific for your own needs. And of course, it has an excellent big database, but sometimes you want to work in a very specific way. And is this a way to add to your toolkit? So let me take you to the test environment. Here I have a scan of chromosome 3, and one of the things I like to do is working with the informational field of DNA, the chromosomes. And of course, it has an expression in our physical appearance, but I believe, and maybe people are aware of the 12 strands of DNA, I believe that there are different realms, levels in which you can work with DNA or talk to DNA or turn switches off and on. Well, let me not go into much of this because that's my passion. But today we are here how to create a list and save it, and how to call the list up and use it. And how to do that, I go to v-test external. If you look at v-test external, it is empty. And I want to add, this time I want to add planets, because I believe planets have an influence on our DNA. Look at the moon, that's the most, most known planet, which people, have the 28-day cycle, and women have a 28-day menstruation cycle. So I would like to work with planets in the future. So I'm going to add this list to my library, and I copy paste it from a Word document into the list, and now I want to save it. And I save it as planets. You don't say save, but you say save as. And it takes you to the background of the biophilia tracker. And I made an external Vegeto folder in which I save all my lists. And here I'm going to add the planets. And as you see, I have ancestors, affirmations, the book of love, our remedies. So I can work with these items. So I say save, and then I go out of here, and then you think, okay, I saved it. So let's call them up. And then you see, oh, it's empty. Why is that? That's because you have to keep in mind there is a working list and you make extra lists to save. And the saved lists you have to copy and paste back into your working list. And that is sometimes a little bit confusing, but the more you do it, the more the hang of it you get. So what I do now is, okay, I added the planets, and there they are. And I could open them and copy them into my working list and work with it. But just for the fun of it, I'm not going to do the planets. I'm going to do the ancestors. So here I have the list of ancestors. So as I say, I'm not in the working list. I'm in the library list. So I copy it from my library list, and then I call up my working list and paste it. And then when you see when I get out of it, it says you have to get out of it again, and then it says save. And now I have my ancestral line to test. Well, every chromosome we have from our ancestors, 50% of your father, 50% of your mother. And then you have your chromosome, which reacts to the environment, like planets, but also are you in a good environment or a bad environment? And it tells you something at the stage you are in now. So, just a little bit to tell you how I work with it. Um, I going to demonstrate one, and I'm just going to pick one, just by intuition. But what you could do is talk to somebody, do a muscle test, and then see, okay, this grandfather in the paternal line 5 generations ago, how does he influence my chromosomes? And then you test. And I'll go back to comparative analysis. And then I see, ooh, that grandfather, if he's too much in my, if his energy is too much expressed in my chromosome, it weakens my chromosome. So there is a certain, and then I go a little bit back to family constellations. I call this, I have, of course, my own name. I call this DNA constellations. So you have to watch out with this energy of this fifth generation grandfather. So what you could do, and that's a little bit the same as the imprint of allergens or other diseases, you could take this as a new result and use this inverted and reprint it inverted in a substance. So, and DNA doesn't think in good and bad. DNA thinks only in plus and minus, on and off. So when you invert it, it probably, you could test it, but it probably, just like a disease, to invert a disease, it will strengthen your chromosome. Well, this in a nutshell, a little bit how I work with DNA and how I work with lists. And I hope that this will open up some inspiration for you to work also in a way. And this is also one of the things I want to give training in, because it does call for some knowledge of DNA and some knowledge of bioconstellations, and bringing those both together. So thank you for listening so far, and I hope we'll meet and explore together.